Hey everybody, so a little update on the Jeep. Haven't done too much since the last video. Just been like tuning the car a little bit just to be able to drive it better. In the last video you saw that I had a hard time keeping the thing running or keeping it idling. So I found out the reason why. I was an idiot. I didn't have the PVC hose hooked up. So that's probably why it was rushing air in the last video, or it was like shh. So I found that out later on as the evening went on, and I was trying to test drive the car down the road, and dummy over there ran out of the fence when I was trying to drive my truck out, because unfortunately the main gate is, well, the main gate up here is right there, and my shop is in here. So as I opened it up, he decided to book out, and lesson learned, I'm locking his ass in the riding ring or in his stall anytime I try to leave. So I'm getting ready to go drive it on the road right now. I hooked up some of the wiring down here. The brake lights work. The running lights for nighttime work back here. This turn signal works. This one doesn't. The reverse lights don't work. Let's see what else. The tires keep losing air. They're really old. This turn signal works. This one doesn't. That running light works over here, but the turn signal doesn't work. Both headlights don't turn on. The wipers work, believe it or not. They actually work. There's no issue. I didn't actually... Usually with wiper motors, you have to like grab the wiper and work it before it starts working, but it actually turned on. The heater blower works. The dash lights do work. You can see they come on, and I can dim them and brighten them. This knobs, I'm not really used to these knobs, to be honest. In my Wagoneer, it's a little more modern with buttons and stuff. These are actual like knobs you got to turn. But most of the stuff works. The temperature gauge works, the speedometer works, the amp gauge works, oil pressure works. I haven't checked the radio yet because I never get any radio signal in this barn. And to be honest, living up here on this hill, even cell phone and radio signals are pretty bad. Still haven't figured out what this second antenna is for. There's two antennas on this Jeep. This was a plow truck at one point, so it doesn't look like a CB radio, but I have to go down here and find out what it is down the road. But still haven't gotten a new belt or anything yet. But what I did do was I tightened the valve cover bolts because they were extremely just like finger tight. So the smoke over here was not a huge exhaust leak like I thought. It was just oil burning off of the manifold down there. The corner bolt over here was missing, so I just went in my pile of bolts. You can see the shiny one over there, if my phone will focus. That corner bolt over there, and you can see it was leaking oil on the exhaust manifold. So I tightened them all up temporarily for now. Eventually I'll get to the gaskets and all that stuff. I broke off the... I guess I take it back. There were exhaust leaks, but not that major one that I thought I had. So I broke off these exhaust tubes, air injection tubes, supposed to help with nitrous oxide or something like that. I don't care about that. The car is 50 years old. So I broke them off, and you can see I welded, closed the bolts for that, or where I broke them exactly. It's interesting is this side has 4 of them. This side only had 3. The exhaust manifold back there did not have one. I'm not sure if that's from factory, but my Wagoneer did have one back there. And as far as fuel delivery goes, I still haven't messed with the gas tank. I'm kind of short on cash right now, so I can't really buy the big ticket items for this thing. I just bought my mom some some tires for her Jeep. They were bald, and winter is coming. So I've kind of been working on her car. Like I said, I replaced the power steering pump, all the brakes, tires. There's a few other things I fixed on her car. But tires are like $600, $700. So I think I spent like almost $700 on tires with the install and everything. So So what I did for now is there's no more fuel tank on here because I did have the hood off because I was driving it around with the hood off, you know, so it wouldn't blow into the windshield or whatever. But there's no more fuel tank up here. What I did was I put a 1.5 gallon fuel tank down there. Like, again, I don't have a long enough fuel hose, 3/8 hose or whatever. So I have a 1.5 gallon tank there, and then I have like 2.5, 3 gallons left in this tank. So this is my gas tank for now. It's 5 gallons. It's enough for, you know, just driving around on the property or down the street or something like that if I need to. And I actually did use the truck finally. So the other day, see, the basement in this house when I bought it was, or when we got it, the basement basically was like a dungeon. It had push-up ceilings that had like mouse shit on them and mouse piss and all that stuff, and I didn't want to throw that in my car, so I kind of left the basement alone for the last 1.5 years, almost 2 years. And now that the truck bed is mostly done, I still haven't done seam sealer or any of that kind of stuff, and I still kind of need to paint some of the spot welds that I did, but now that the bed is done, you can see it's dirty because I threw all of the drywall, push-up ceiling insulation stuff in here to, you know, bring it down to the trash and stuff like that. So I'm already starting to use the truck. Don't even have a gas tank. Need new tires, need new leaf springs. Got to fix this and that, but it's already being used. So that's what its intended purpose was for. So, but anyway, I hooked it up to that, and I guess I should have saved some of the fuel so I could show you guys what it looked like, but I hooked up a new fuel filter for it because the lines in here, they're rusty lines. Eventually I need to replace the fuel lines, but they're not leaking yet, so they are holding fuel. And before I hooked up the fuel line to the carburetor, I took a water bottle and I put it on this end. Little water, actually you can see some of it right here. Little water bottle, hooked it onto this end. It was much dirtier than this. So you see that black stuff on the bottom? The entire liquid in here was just solid black. It's whatever rust and rubber has disintegrated, whatever water that was in there. So I got all that out, hooked up the fuel line filter, like I said. So whatever dislodges into the fuel line will just go to the fuel filter and not my carburetor. I didn't hook up the return line, so the return line is just plugged for now. I hooked up some of the vacuum lines, like this vacuum line over here that runs along down there. It goes to the transfer case, and I had a friend of mine take some pictures of how his was routed, and I hooked that up, so the transfer case is now hooked up with vacuum. I can't find my breather oil fill cap, so this is just gonna have to be left open for now. When I do park it in the garage, I do cover it so like wasps and stuff don't get in here. I do have the air cleaner in the other side of the shop, but for now I'm just driving around without the air cleaner on. It's not a big deal. The choke was not working as well when I showed you guys the first startup video. So this choke, it had broke right here on the plastic, and somebody tied it with a wire, and it works. But another problem is the choke heater tube also has broken down here, just like it did on my Wagoneer. My Wagoneer is heated and electric though, so this one I just sealed it up with silicone. It works. It's not going anywhere. It's just a little tube. It doesn't actually move or anything. Because the carburetor has a vacuum to the this little choke mechanism that sucks up hot air from the exhaust manifold, right, or the exhaust from the intake, and it heats up, not the exhaust, but it sucks up hot air from the intake to this, and it opens up the choke. And you can see it's already partially closed now because it's been shut off for, I want to say, the last like 5-6 hours. So, but I tested it and it works and it fully opens, because before, when I drove it in the neighborhood, I was getting like, I want to say 1 mile, maybe 2 miles for a gallon, barely 2 miles, so maybe 1.5 miles for a gallon of gas. Hopefully, now that the choke is fixed and all the vacuum lines are routed where they're supposed to be, and the exhaust leaks are fixed, hopefully the gas mileage is a little bit better than that. So Right now I'm going to take a test drive again. I'll probably make another video because I don't want this one to be like 30 minutes long, but I'm going to do a test drive again, and I'm going to drive down the street. The gas station is about 1.5 miles from my house, but I'm going to take the side roads, which cuts into the main road, and basically my Jeep will only be on the main road for maybe about 100 feet, 150 feet. And I'm just going to get to the gas station just to drive it there, just to chill out, go back on the back roads, and then come back here. Hopefully there's enough gas to do that, though. So there's 5 gallons of gas in here, and that's probably like a 3-mile drive. So we'll see if I break down or run out of gas. You know what? I think I'll probably take another 5 gallons of gas with me. I have some older gas here, but it works. It's what I've been using to drive around the neighborhood. So I'm going to take some extra gas. You know what I mean? So anyway, let me turn it on real quick for you guys so you can hear the engine again. And I did take my Wagoneer floor mats, and I did put them in here. I don't use these floor mats for my Wagoneer because I have like the heavy-duty rubber ones, but I don't want to scratch, you know, what I painted already. So here we go. And I also adjusted the idle and the idle mixture screws, and everything is kind of where I want it to be now. So I need to hook up a tachometer so I can actually see what the RPMs are. But yeah. The engine still has a lot of vibration to it, though. You can see. When it warms up, the vibration kind of goes away, but there is a lot of vibration in that engine. I might have to adjust the idle just a little bit higher. When the idle's a little bit higher, it doesn't vibrate as much, but you can hear the engine. It sounds beautiful. Listen to this. See, there's no exhaust leaks anymore, no more ticking. The suction noise that you're hearing is just from the intake. But yeah, there's a lot of vibration in the engine. Harmonic balancer looks pretty good, so anyway, let me let you guys go. Thanks for watching, everybody. Till the next video.